as I was saying, good evening, welcome. Thank you for registering. I believe that this evening is going to be, a very wonderful, powerful, interesting, impactful session. And I am just, I know that the speakers are here, they're ready to speak to us. And thank you for registering. Let me say that first of all. I want to believe that these 2 hours you're investing in your own self-development and in the development of starting your business or sustaining an already existing business. I know it's going to be worth it. So I know we are all busy people, but thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for joining us for this Sustaining Your Engineering Business webinar. So a little bit about EIA. EIA is a Engineering Empowerment Initiative for Africa. And what we do is empowering engineers and, helping engineers to live their best life now. A lot of people, especially brilliant people, you find out that most people that opt to study engineering as a course in Nigeria are actually very brilliant. Very few non-brilliant people actually get into engineering, and that's a testament to the fact that, people see what they want to. The intelligent people say, when I grow up, I want to be this, I want to be that. And interestingly, a lot of us go into engineering with a lot of dreams. I'm an engineer myself. I'm a materials engineer, and I've been practicing now for about 12 years. So, we go into the industry and then some of us begin to find this disconnect. It's not exactly, even at school, sometimes you begin to notice that, oh, maybe this is not really what I thought it was going to be. It looks like what you were saying in Discovery Channel or anything is totally different from, the Fourier series or the mathematics you were doing or things like that. And so, a lot of times I found out from my research that most engineers, they go into the university with a lot of hopes, but a lot of engineers leave universities feeling hopeless. And that has really affected the way we go about, studying engineering as a course in Nigeria. Also, that's affected the ways in which people can translate what they've already learned into businesses. So, a lot of people, like my dad is a pharmacist. He was able to finish as a pharmacist and then have a pharmaceutical shop. And he has had that for, over 30 years now. It's a 30-year-old business as a pharmacist. You also find out that doctors at the same time, they finish. This is a lot of intelligent people to, go on to study medicine, and they are able to finish and they are able to actually start up a practice, whether it is a clinic or, hospitals and everything like that. And just imagine if all we had in Nigeria was just government hospitals. Can you just imagine that? Thank God for the private ones that have come up. And these are around the people that have already, they've done these courses and they are now running these clinics as their side business or as their main business. And so same things, that's also our vision that, people should be able to study engineering, leave the university and be able to start an engineering business. The knowledge is already there. It's just the business knowledge, like the technical knowledge is already there. And then, we have an intelligent person, we have the technical knowledge. So then what's missing is just sometimes it's just how to go about these things, and also us not having people talk to us, or maybe not having the exposure that is necessary to do business in terms of engineering. So yeah, so this evening, we're going to be focused. Somebody said they can't hear the speaker. Can you hear me, please? If you can hear me, can you type in the chat if you can hear me, please? I just want to be sure that it's just this person that can hear the speaker. If you can hear me, please just let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Okay, I'm just trying to ensure that we can all hear me, right? Can we hear me? All right, okay, so people are saying they can hear me. All right, can I get more people saying if they can hear me or not? Please just let me know if you can hear me. While I wait for that confirmation, I'm just going to be sharing my screen and just quickly tell you a little bit more about what I was saying. I just want to be sure that we can all hear and we can all participate in everything that we are saying. Please just let me know if you can hear me. All right. Okay, thank you so much. I've gotten confirmation. If you just try to maybe restart. Okay, they can hear. They said they can hear me loud and clear. So I think if you just maybe try to maybe log out and log in back, maybe that might rectify it for that person that can hear me. So yes, I'll just continue from there. So the webinar this evening is just to, we have people that have experience in business and they are engineers. They're engineers. These are not just business people alone, they are engineers. And that's what I found, that it's better we hear from people that have gone ahead and created successful engineering businesses, and then we can hear from them on how we can create engineering businesses, because I believe that we can do it. I believe that you can do it. All right. Okay, somebody said it's breaking. Maybe if you log out, logging back, I think that will solve the problem. So like I was saying, this is why we are here this evening, and I'm going to be, welcoming our speakers in a minute, but I just want you to know that you can do it. And that's why I'm really happy that you signed up for this webinar. It's this webinar is not like general, everybody. It's speaking to a specific need. And I'm very happy that the people that signed up for it actually are the ones that really want to ensure that they start an engineering business, or maybe sustain an already existing engineering business. So I'm just going to say, like I said initially, if you don't know us, if this is your first time of joining us for any of our program, any of our webinars, my name is Tolulope Oke, and I'm the founder of Eng Realities, EEIA, which means Engineering Empowerment Initiative for Africa. What do we do? What we do is to empower engineers to live their best life and make the best of their careers, make the best of engineering studies. Engineers are brilliant people, and so when it comes to business, when it comes to making the best of life, when it comes to having money, so it should translate to that. And that's what we believe in Eng Reality. We believe that for every that person. All right. So we believe that with engineering, if we'll I'll just a minute. Okay. All right. That person just came in and it just muted. All right, Chair, please, if you could just mute for us, that would be nice. I don't know why I can't mute you here, but if you just mute for us, that would be interesting, and that would be lovely. So yes, like I was saying, what we do is to ensure that engineers can be the best that they want to be. Engineers can make it. We believe that one of the main things affecting Nigerians today and causing unemployment is because our engineers are not creating businesses. And if once you don't have engineering businesses, once you don't have indigenous manpower powering that, then you begin to have a problem. Then you begin to have unemployment, because then if engineers don't create businesses, they are less manufacturing businesses, they are less industrial businesses. They are more of businesses that helps us to consume rather than help us to create opportunities. And so what we hope to do is that by speaking to you today, by bringing our speakers to speak to you, what's going to happen is you are going to have the confidence to go ahead with the ideas in your mind, create businesses, run the businesses in such a way that it's going to benefit everyone around you. It's going to benefit you yourself, it's going to benefit your community, and it's going to benefit Nigeria. Just imagine the unemployment record just came out for the first quarter for the whole of 2020, and the Nigeria unemployment is at 33.8%. That's not good enough. That's a disaster waiting to happen. So I just want to say, let me not take too much time this evening. I'm going to be welcoming our speaker in a minute, and he was speaking to us about, their goal, and they're going to be speaking to us about what they do themselves, how they came about their business, their story, and they're going to be teaching us on how they think that we can really learn to be able to create engineering business. So I'm just going to read. Sorry, I think there's something going on. If you just excuse me 1 minute, I just want to see what's going on with the mute system. Okay, I think it's working fine now. Let's just keep. All right. I'll try and fix that later on. I don't know why it's not really muting some people. It's supposed to automatically mute, but that's fine. So, Ken. All right. If Chair, I think is CHIA. If Chair can just mute for us, that would be really lovely. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's muted. So yes, like I was saying, I'm just going to go on to our speakers now, and I'm going to introduce them. And like we saw in the, I don't know if you saw the flyer, but we have some very, very interesting speakers that are going to be speaking to us today. And I'm going to be introducing them one by one after the other. So I just want you to keep calm and, listen as we introduce them. All right. Okay. All right. So our first speaker for today is Mr. Okay, so it's on the other order. So our first speaker today is Mr. Ayo Adedokun, CEO of Synot Technology. He finished from Federal University of Technology, Akure. He studied electrical and electronics, and he runs a solar business. Now, the interesting thing about this person, when I was speaking to him, is you can see the way his work has been impacted. Not only does he just run a business, he's also, talking about renewables and everything. There's a purpose to what he's doing. And so, we're going to be hearing from him in a minute. We're also going to be hearing from Mr. Chiedu Nkuka. I've known Chiedu for such a long time. And so he's also a tech entrepreneur. He's going to be speaking to us. He's our second speaker for the day. For Mr. Ayo Adedokun, which is the second speaker on the flyer, I will just read about what's going to be speaking to us about today. And I hope that, as he speaks, we'll be able to learn one or two things from that. So it's going to be speaking to us about how we can translate our degrees into our business. Remember what we said in the beginning. It's all about ensuring that this knowledge that we already have is not lost and translating it into a business. It's going to help us to share with us a story, how he started his business and how it is going. We see all those pictures on social media, how he started versus how it's going. You're going to hear it here today. So yes, please keep calm, and I will give Mr. Ayo Adedokun on the floor. Yeah, please. I've asked you to unmute, please, sir. Mr. Ayo Synot.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I want to respond. Maybe use some box or anything from the participants. I want to see if they can hear me clearly.
Okay, all right. Please, if you can hear Mr. Ayo Adedokun, please, can you type in the chat? All right. Please, let's type in the chat. We just want to be sure that the connections are working right. We need somebody to fix the internet situation in Nigeria. So maybe it is you on this call. But please just type, okay, loud and clear. Yes, we can hear.
So if you can hear me now, so I want to really thank you, Mark, for the opportunity you have given to me to speak and also to encourage the young entrepreneurs and those the engineering professionals on this platform. Hello.
I'm just going to unmute you again, Mr. Ayo Adedokun. I've had to redo the, so you can unmute yourself now.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. And I think they just said, can you speak a little bit louder? That's what they said. In the chat. All right.
All right. Is it clear now?
For me, it's clear. Yes. Let's just give 1 minute to them to come in. How are you doing? How was your day? I know it's a busy season for you. I hope you had a lovely day. Okay. They said it is clear, please. It is clear. So you can go ahead, sir.
Okay. All right. My name is Engineer Yoadidokun. So I'm the founder of Senior Technology. And I've been an entrepreneur, let me say, from the age of 9. Then I used to use, I started a kind of a business with, using a scissors and then we say, using a scissors and a bone fitter pin. I will cut it. I will use it to make a kind of a car for children. So then I'll be selling it. That has been my passion is to create things and to learn how to do things. Even right from that age, people have started calling me engineer. Most people because of the passion I have for innovation, and and while growing up, we have a challenge, electricity, and then I'll be using lamp, kerosene lamp to reach. And since then I've made up my mind that at least I have to solve this problem. I have to solve this problem. And so I started learning how to design inverters right from 2008. During my COS. Oh, can you all hear me?
We can hear you, sir, but it's a bit, if you can go louder, that would be nice. That would be really nice. I think it's a bit low.
Yeah, is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear. Yeah, go on.
All right.
I think your voice will pick up. Go on. Yeah.
All right. So I said I started when I started learning these inverters right from 2008. And when I started, my goal is that I want to solve the problem for myself. I want to solve the problem for myself. I just want to use something to I just want to apply something, to solve the problem for myself. And when I solve the problem and people see, far back in 2008, I was able to design inverter with solar. But I put it in my room. People was like, "Oh, you did not hear the generator noise?" Right from then I was doing NG. Just imagine national diploma then. People are like, "Wow, this is an innovation." Since then, I was working on myself, and when people see good things, that when they see your innovation, they can, they can sometimes they can see what you are doing and encourage you. So I started collecting different projects from people where I will use students, assisting students, how to design things. So when I got back to Twitter during the entry, right from my 200 level, I have some, someone of the 500 level called me that he wanted to design an inverter but doesn't know how to go about it. I was able to explain the whole details to him. I see that different people started calling me, "Oh, Peanut, want to do our project? Can you do it for us? Can you design this for us? Can you do this for us?" So, I was able to help so many people to design their project. As I was helping them, at the same time, I was also they are giving me some commission. Also commission to me helping them. So, when I was in 500 level, I was just thought of it that at least I can register this business. 500 level, I opened a shop at Southgate. I opened my first shop at Southgate in Futa. So if you are a Futa student hearing me, so the place. So I was able to, start there. Most of my colleagues look at it that you are in 500 level, despite all the coursework, the assignment and everything, and you are still opening shop. Many people think that I'm not even graduating. Some people think that you have open shop now. You think you are maybe this is the end of your Solomon. And this is probably you have put all your mind to settle here and just to work as but I know the reason why I opened the office, that at least I can start from somewhere. I can start from somewhere and see what I can do. I just opened an office. I remember then I opened the office. The money I also use for my house rent. I use the money. I use the money to rent shop. I pack all my loot, all my loot inside the shop, and then I was I was now talking. My own room is now my shop. From then I was able to, then I still have the picture of those how everything. I just feel like if I can sleep inside shop, at least I can go and read inside school and go to hostel and take my bath, and so that's how we get the whole thing work. And I believe that with time I will be able to settle down and everything. So that's how I registered my business, and I started and started growing the business. So the solving problem, running, starting a business in Nigeria can be rough. I don't start with I did not start my business with maybe I have some money in place. You now use it to start. Just imagine you use your house rent to rent a shop, and people are collecting hotels, you are collecting shop, you pack all your loot and you are sleeping there. But I was able to do some work then I was able to rent an hotel. I was able to get school hostel to minimize my cost then. So that's how everything started. People think that maybe starting the business means that I'm not serious with my academics, and that is not even though I been challenging combining academics then with business. But I was able to balance because I also finished the Pt1. So despite the whole thing, some of my colleagues are not even doing business. Many of them finished, they couldn't finish with the grade I finished with. But this is a matter of passion. This is a matter of when you are running a business in related to your field. In fact, related to your field, you don't there is a way it helps you to be focused. There's a way it helps you. I'm not probably if I'm doing maybe tailoring now, so this is the diversion. So you see this electronics, some of the courses that we are doing in the department of the practicals, me, I'm doing it in the area of my business. So it really helped me, a lot to combine the two together. After this, I was able to, after my 500 level, there is a decision now. Okay, how will I continue this business? Should I close up the business? Should I close up the shop and go for my service, or I should work my service? I should work my service down to Akure, where I will. But everybody has their own beliefs. Everybody has their own personality. But one of my beliefs is that it's not place that is the business. It is me first. The business I want to grow first is not a place. Anywhere I am, I must be able to run my business. I decide that okay, well, let me retain the shop. I pack all my tools, all my tools down to orientation camp. I started in Anambra. I could remember I was able to personalize my load, my books, my clothes, my food, and then my tools. When I take my tools to orientation camp, even ordinary spoon, iron spoon cannot take it in. But they are still drilling my skin, cutting my skin. What do you want to do with this one at the orientation camp? But I know that my office can be anywhere I am. So I was able to take my tools down to the orientation camp doing service, and with the mind that, oh, I will start with probably a engineering firm, or also start with probably where I can develop myself and that. But during the orientation camp, they could not allow me to take my tools in. They seized my tools, so I could not come with my tools. I was just, I put everything and to the place they were asked us to put our tools, our material that we cannot take in them. So during the SSEB, so I was like, okay, I know how to design inverter. They now asked us to join. They asked us to join. They asked us to join a skill. I was like, okay, let me join solar inverter skill. The reason why I joined is that not to show that I know it, but to upgrade myself. I know that this man has been into this, the instructor, is into it. But let me go and learn from him, whether I can know different ways of doing things. In engineering, you don't reinvent the wheel, but you can upgrade yourself. Don't just say because you know one way of doing things and you have known it all. You must keep upgrading yourself. You must keep improving yourself, because as technology is moving very fast, so you also must be so smart, learn new way of doing things, look at the way others are doing it. So I joined SSEB. The solar. As I joined the SSEB class, one of my friends that know me from Kuta, he was like, why do you come and join this thing? You have known it already. Now go and join another thing. I said, no, I did not know anything. I'm just here to learn. I'm here to learn. Right then, the instructor also knew that at least I think I'm good in this. He now make me an assistant, a class rep for the course, and we were able to. I was able to challenge these people on an orientation camp that we can build inverter. They were like, is it possible? How will we do 10 days? How will you build inverter within 10 days? I said we can do it. Despite the stress of the orientation camp, I told the instructor to get materials for us, and we went to SSEB during light out. Before light out, we go and start doing soldering. I get some guys there that was encouraging, and I see their passion, and we were able to present inverter during the exhibition. They were like, wow, are you sure you are the one that built this thing? Where others are presenting deeds, and there are so many engineers that they join out to make clothes, but we were able to challenge some guys. I know one of the guys is mechanical in Kuta. I know some of the guys that surrounded me, they are engineers. But when they see someone that can take the lead, we were able to follow. And we presented the inverter working. Everybody was like, wow, that we tried. That's how the experts on I told them that even the instructor, handed over all the tools that we used, handed over to me. They did not allow me to take my tools in, but even I still have the tools to work with inside the camp. These are the motivation that we have received. We have received in the the journey has been. So after that, I thought I would serve in engineering firm. At least it's now that in Nigeria that Korean have started coming in, that all engineers will start with engineering firm instead of showing them to schools where they have nothing. So I was unable to I started in schools. They did not put me. I even thought maybe I would start in one technical school, and that they even put me guest only school. I said, I even wanted to do maybe I can see some guys that can mentor in this engineering thing. But since I was able to start there, and then they said, which course will I take? I said, can I take physics? The physics teacher said no, that he doesn't need a core member. He doesn't, like maybe the man was like, maybe you can take over from him. One woman said, I will be coming to home economics now. I said, I'm an engineer, will I start with home economics? I will be eating food. I was just like, but later, computer science department said I should come and start with them. Well, I said, since I know a little bit about programming, so at least I can start with computer department, and I was able to, I did my own best. But, you know, I now said that, okay, since I could not start with technical oriented school, I now did a project with technical students. So I look for government technical school and federal technical school. One is at Onitsha and one is at Oka. So I said, okay, let me train these guys and mentor them.
You know what,
So
Mr.
during the second term, I told my
I'm just going to pause you a minute because it's so interesting what you're saying that I just wanted to point out the lessons, even right before we get to the end. Like in your story already, I can already like, oh, sorry, I think I lost your pin, but I'm just going to add you to that pin. Where are you? You know, one of the things I like about what you're saying, because I just feel like there's so many lessons already because they, you know, I was going to summarize at the end, but I just feel like there are so many lessons in what you said. First of all, is having a belief that you can do it. Then you went on, as in like even in NYSC, as in like you created an inverter within 10 days. That is quite impressive. And you know, I hope that we are all really listening to him because we can as well say that there's so many obstacles in our way, so many things, but you can see he actually used his money to rent a shop rather than get an accommodation, you see. That's passion. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, are you passionate? You want to do a business. It requires your passion. Are you passionate? You can see what he's saying. You know, I was quite interested. I've already written a whole page down already when he was saying, oh, when he went to NYC camp, he took his tools with him. You know, I've been to NYC before. You know, a couple of people here too have been to NYC. People come to NYC to just come and flex. Like it's 1 year where we relax. You know, we're just relaxing from all the school stress and all of that before we go into, it's like the midway between becoming a total responsible adult. You can do anything you like in that year. Government is paying you. But look at the mindset. And you know, that if there's another thing, perseverance, their mindset. He said something that I wrote down here. He said, my office can be anywhere. The business is about me first. And I think that's quite really, really very important and very impressive. You know, also serving in a school, looking for opportunities. You know, when he said, I went to look for technical colleges, and I'm like, you see, and so I'm not surprised if he's doing well because it wasn't easy for him, it was rough, but he still made the best out of it. You get, and that's one thing I've really gotten from what he has told us so far. So I hope we're listening and catching all of those lessons. I just feel like I didn't want to wait till the end to summarize them. First of all, you have to be passionate. Secondly, you have to persevere. You have to really, really persevere at any business idea. You know, the Nigerian climate can be draining sometimes, but even in that draining climate, people are making money. People are living their dreams. Okay, so no excuses. What I found now from everything, if I'm going to summarize what he said so far, it's no excuses. This is how he started. And I think it's important because there are so many other people, you know, when we have other webinars, people start in different ways, you know. But I just found the story very interesting, and I hope that we can see ourselves in that story. He did a business on campus, opened a shop, and he still finished with a 2-1. That's somebody committing everything into his passion and into his studies, and into even when he finished going to NYC camp, he actually went with 2s. I can just imagine. And knowing when people there, you know, also, you know, if you receive my weekly newsletter, if you don't receive it yet, you know, you can subscribe and send it to you. I've talked about networking. I've talked about, you know, trying to connect with people. See what he did, connected with the instructor, still was able to use the tool, motivated others, you know, just having a good attitude. And, you know, sometimes it's not the big things in business. You know, we're looking for the big things like, okay, this is how to market to your customers and all of that. That's interesting. But these things are very important because this is talking about the person, the engineer itself. Because if you get these things right, then no matter what Nigeria throws your way, you'll be able to, you know, you'll be able to surmount it. So yes, I hope that we're listening to him. I'll allow you to continue now, Mr. Ayo, you know, but I just wanted to point out those lessons because they are very, very important to share.
Thank you. You know, after my I look for technical students to, you know, I wanted to do like a CDS, community development service project where I can encourage, you know, young entrepreneurs. Like, you know, I see when I saw the passion that those students have at the technical school, I was like, wow. So, and I make a kind of exhibition for them. I call it 21st Century Entrepreneur Technology for Self-Reliance. You know, I picked that from FUTA Yoga, Technology for Self-Reliance. Then I went to directors, I went to Ministry of, in NYSC, we have a project like that. They will say you should not use your money to do the project. I say I want to train students on how to design electronics, how to design some things. I look for partners. I couldn't get partners. So those will say, what they want to do. If you say you are building toilet now, they can sponsor you. Which one you want to train them on how to design? What are you saying you have to impact? But I refused to give up. I wrote letters to those schools like, okay, what I now look at, okay, since I could not get sponsored, what do I need? I listed out what I need. So I look, okay, I think the Ministry of Education can be a good option. Let me go to Ministry of Education. Also, okay, Ministry of Science and Technology can also be a very good option. So I just stopped other places. I went to Ministry of Education. And when I saw that, I was able to see Commissioner of Education. I was able to break so many protocols. I saw the woman just look at me like, okay, what they want to do. I even designed PCB. I was able to design printed circuit board to show him, that like I'm doing something, The woman do not encourage me, just say, and go to NBT, like those in charge of technical education. I said I will not give up. I went to Ministry of Science and Technology. When I saw the director welcomed me, the woman, oh wow, this is what we are doing, this is what we want to do. And he said, we have to see the commissioner. When I saw the commissioner, he's a very good man. He's a very good man. He was able to encourage me. He said, okay, he said he wants to be bound to do that thing first. That if you to believe. So as an engineer, before you approach investors, I'll still be talking about the business aspect, but I'm just telling you the story, how it started. I've met with people, I've met with a lot of people, investors, and people want to see how good you are. The man said I should go and design that thing. He wants to see it first. I look at what I have, I look at what is within me. I started that, even though if I don't feel, if I don't have everything I need now, can I start with what I have? And I remember that I have some components right in my shop in FUTA. I told someone to come and help me to bring it, to send it down to me to Anambra State. The guy helped me to send it down from Akure down to Anambra. I collected it. I started with those components to build what that commissioner requires. When I built that thing finished, I built the design, and I went to show him how much does it cost. I said this thing cost me 15,000 naira to build it. And I said that if you buy it, 40,000 naira. And that man gave me 40,000 naira cash. So he said I should use the rest to do my CDS project. I was able to use that to start the project. And then I also wrote to those schools, those technical schools, that okay, can you just buy the material? When you buy the material, the student can use it. And then a student also, a school sponsored the material for their students to use. And I also went to a man that would sell the component for me. I said, I can't collect money from you. Can you give me component for free? Can you sponsor me with components? And that man gave me 1,000 LED. Some people may not be able to give you money for your project, but they can give you materials that you need. The goal is that getting the material. So I was not only looking for money, I was looking for material to design a project. At the end of the whole thing, NYSC gave me state award for that project. It's a very wonderful project. Those students can still call me that, oh, thank you for taking us through this electronics. Thank you for impacting us. I may not earn so much money in the orientation doing my NYSC, but at least I can have that certificate, and state award is signed by the governor. The governor will sign it, and and the chairman of the board, NYSC board for state. Anytime I see that certificate, I don't even use look at my NYSC, I look at that one as a kind of a reward. And I know that, yes, I served these people in my, no, after the whole thing, they said, oh, my state said, should I, one of my school, the school that I served, they said they wanted to repay me. I said, wow, me, I have where I'm being, and, after that, I was able to know, before, during my service year, that was 2016. So there was an application that came in, which is SSEB, Tony Elumelu Foundation. So that someone else I should apply. I did not really know that application we work. My own is that, okay, now after NYSC, I need where I can learn more about business, because engineering and business, they are two parallel lines. You can be an engineer, you can be an innovator, but if you don't know how to convert such money to business, you must be able to know how to convert such knowledge to business. I just applied, like, okay, let's assume that now I did a project, and if I have money to do this thing, what would I do? I started putting in for this application. I could know one of the questions they asked. One of the questions they asked, the Tony Elumelu asked, is that what makes your home product, unique from others. And I told them that, number one, I can't say my locally made inverter is good. I can't say it's better than what Japan will make, what Indians will make. So those guys, they are very good there. But I told them that, well, concerning my own inverter, whatever that can happen to it, I will be able to repair it. That's what we call them value proposition. Value proposition. And because I use locally made materials, I was so shocked when I was told that I won that I was part of the 1,000 that was selected. Imagine during our own time that they said for the 2,000 applied, they need 1,000. So, and in my sector, out of that 1,000 that were applied in my sector, they picked 2%. 2%. They said 2.13% in my own sector, which is engineering and all those things. You can see how slim that thing. But when it comes to agriculture, in fact, they pick close to like 40%. So which shows that, then I was able to use the money. However, they will train you for a year. They're going to train you on a business for a year. So immediately after my NYSC, I was able to launch into that do. So we are trained how to start a business, how to write a business proposal. Then I did not really know how to do all those things. I don't really know what is business that I don't need, because me, I even start my own business without business proposal. Passion. Because of the passion I have, I was able to. When you have a passion, every other thing you need to know will definitely fall in place. Many people go into business because of money. So, if you go to business, it's good. Money is good, but someone says when you can learn, when you are loaded, you'll be needed. And it's when you are giving people values that money will come. Exchange of values. Money is like exchange of value. What are the values you are going to give to society? The more the value you give to society, the more the money will come. So after that, we are trained how to design business proposals. Even though those trainings, finances, all those accounting was like I was not taught this one in the university, but I learned what I can, the basics. Even as an engineer, I may not know details about finances, I may not know details about all this, the marketing but I know I can market myself, I can, learn it, I can have the basic understanding of it. So, I was able to learn all such. Then I used the money immediately after my business. So I launched the business. In my place. So I said I can rent a very big apartment. I rent a very big apartment, with little knowledge I have, rent a very big apartment, then also start my academic, my master's program along the way. So I am doing the master program along the way, then I'm also running the business. Because I discovered that number one, in engineering, you don't just, you need to be research minded. Technology is not what you say, oh, since you have learned. When I learned how to design inverters, I learned one way how to design it. Now I can use 10 ways to design it. So if I use this one, if you want me to design it in a different way, I can do that. So, you also, as an engineer, you should not relax, you should not relent. You should push on, to develop, to discover yourself, to develop your dream. I started my master's program, then also running my business. So until then, we have started pushing the company called Senior Technology. So we have been through the same Tony Elumelu Foundation grant that we were able to won. We were able to put some things in place, get some tools, set on the business. Even though the Nigerian factor when it comes to business setting, you as an engineer, I even thought that you be just to get business started, but there are more beyond that. I was able to, when my business was not doing well, I discovered that what am I missing? So then I was able to also learn through business. I was able to apply for some training. I was able to learn through Faith Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. I also learned through EDC, Enterprise Development Center. I was part of their grant. I learned, I see that there are more to business, there are more to engineering, and there are also more into combining the two together. So, these are our journey. These are our journey so far. And if you now ask that, how do you start your business? How do you start and sustain your business? Number one, identify a need. Identify a need. If you don't identify a need, as no technology, we have identified major needs. One of the needs that we have identified is people need sustainable power supply. Because fluctuation of, the problem we discovered that people don't have, many people want power supply to do their business, to do their work, but it's not available. The alternative that was presented was not eco-friendly, which means that many people they always say, oh, the generator, I passed my neighbor. There are a lot of billions of dollars that was spent on generator in Nigeria. Most of our politicians, they have generator companies that they don't want. We discovered that many people want to run the generator overnight, but they say, oh, they can't because of the noise, you have to hold it by 12. Then how can you have sustainable power? And they said that, okay, if they want to go for solar inverters, some of these imported inverters, they are very expensive. They are expensive. So why can't we produce affordable ones locally? So we started producing affordable local inverters to solve the problem. These are the needs we identified. Power problem, getting affordable power solutions. Then we also discover the needs of unemployment, which means that we have several people that are unemployed, that if they can be trained, they can also employ themselves. So we started also doing training. So, we are the official trainer at the orientation camp. We partner with NYSC in this state. So anytime we have camp, we always call on us, invite us to come and train the copper. I started with them in 2017, and since then we have trained different core members. We have trained close to 600 core members, on this solar innovation. Then I also train people in Kuta, during their 200 level students. I also train them on inverter, solar lamp, all those things. So we also train. So these are training is also part of the things that we. Then after you have identified the needs, so we are solving the needs in the term of power, environmental pollution. Needs we have identified as not technology. So in your own field to identify a need that you want to be solved. you want to solve. When you identify a need, when you identify the problem, then who are the people you want to solve the problem for? Then the next thing, number two now, who are your customers? Who are your customers? I can't, everybody cannot be my customer because I'm not serving everybody. So, I know my customers. I know people I'm targeting. Some people, our field, we are having a product that everybody needs, but not everyone that can afford it. Everybody wants it. If you ask anybody in Nigeria that you need solar inverter, say yes, we want it. But when you tell them the price, they say, oh wow, it's expensive. Yes. So who are your customers? Who are your customers? If you can't serve everybody, so they are what we call customer segment, customer demographic. Their social status, those are the things you have to learn, you have to understand your customer. Hello, can you all hear me?
So it broke off, but we can. Yes, we can hear you again. It went off a little bit. You just said identify your customer, so we can customer segmentation.
All right. So, which means that you get your customers when you know your customers, the people you want to serve. I can't serve like our service now. We cannot serve everyone. Like now, some people have life. I know some say that they have life 24/7. I know some dedicated life. So we look for people we look for areas where they are having power challenges. Then we go there to help them advertise our product. This is what we do. Some people say, oh, we used to have life through every year. They used to have like twice in the week, every other thing. So we know people we are serving. So know your customer, know people that can buy your product, know people that can afford your product. Those are the things that you need to understand. So then number three is the number three is your value proposition. What makes your product unique? The solution, you are not the first person to bring, you are not the first person in that line. But what makes your product unique? Is it in terms of price? Is it in terms of accessibility? One of the things that that help us, when Tony was asking about our value proposition, it's not because even if we design imported, you can't compare imported inverters with locally made inverters. Talk about packaging. But one of the things is that those imported inverters, if anything happens to them,
I think maybe we just lost this connection there.
Those people to troubleshoot it for you. What happens to it? You can able to it. You know what you are doing. Product. So we are not just buying. We are not just we are not just assembling these things. We are producing it. We are building the inverter from scratch. So these are the things that we propose to them. And you must be able to know what are the unique things about your product. Get that unique thing ready for investors. Investors want to know you are not the only one serving. Probably you are producing, maybe you are a civil engineer and you are saying you are making bricks. What makes your home unique? You are a mechanical engineer, you are making machines. What makes your home unique? Your value proposition is very, very important. These are the things that differentiate you. With technology, we ride on two legs or we fly with 2 wings. Number one is impact. We are working on a project like a dedicated solar inverter that power a timer for school period. We are working on that. So those that must be innovated. You must be you must get your and you must be good at what you are doing. So then number 4, after you have discovered the need, you know your customer, you want to then you know what differentiates your product, your solution, your service from others. Then what are the resources you need? You have to list out the resources you need in terms of finances, in terms of technical know-how. Is it machinery? The process of the things you need, you have to know what you need to achieve your aim. Then, how much will you need? I mean, your startup cost to start. How much will you need? So you must have an estimation of what you need to start up your business. And you can raise your startup cost from investors. You can raise your startup cost from grants. Like we raise our startup cost. I started raising my startup from my own personal money. From there, we saw a grant to boost us. You can see people that wanted to take equity, that wanted to invest in your business. Probably you will sell part of your share. So you can use that to raise money. We have different organizations that are into assisting innovation, assisting entrepreneurs. They can help you to raise up your startup cost. So after you know how much you need to start, costing of your machinery, costing of maybe you want to rent office, staff, and all those things. Then after that, you must also design your revenue. How will money come into your business? So you must be well designed. So don't just say, oh, you need money. Many people approach investors, oh, I need 50,000 naira to start my business. Investor will ask you, how do you want to generate that money back? Like at Sino Technology, we generate our money when we produce inverters, we sell the inverters. Then we also generate money from our training. So you must design your revenue stream. You must design your revenue stream. Then finally, you must.
We can't hear you. You are muted. Can you hear us, sir?
Learn.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
We're talking about revenue stream.
Right. The revenue stream. You learn the revenue stream of your business. How money will come into your business. So how you must also learn that. Tell the investor that this is how. If I gave you 50,000 naira, okay, this is my plan. I'm not just. This is how I will make the money back. So you must also understand that as a business part. Then the other part is the impact. You must learn the measure of the impact of your business. You must know what measure the impact of that your business. What your business must be able to know. The another thing is that we have what we call SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. You must let your business be part of that goal. Anywhere your business must be part of that SDG goals. Before you can see international grant or that, you must which SDG goals your business is solving. Like our own now, we have the one of SDG goal 7, talking about clean and affordable energy. We have also SDG goal 12, talking about production, optimizing production, and that. We also talk about climate change, which is SDG goal 13. So we know where our company sits. So we know there are opportunities for those SDGs. There are grants for under SDG goal 7. There are grants for climate change. There are grants for production and all those things. You must learn where your business falls into. You must learn where your business falls into so that you can seek appropriate grants. I can't be writing grants under human rights and with just imagine it's not correlated. I was able to write a grant that is related to my home field. We have people that are looking for innovators. So we have investors. Some investors want to invest in you, but they want to see how you are doing. As Sino Technologies, we are also growing. We have not started, so we are growing. But these are the knowledge that we think we have learned so far. You know, for us to come to this stage, we have made a lot of mistakes. You know, we have lose some money. We have, you know, talk of, you know, it's still passion because Nigeria will bring policy. You know, I could remember when I was doing my math, when in sometime 2017, you know, I was writing an exam. One of my boys just called me that these government people, FIR, internal revenue, they have come to my office, they carry my generator, they carry everything. Immediately after my life, people rushed down. I said, I just started this business. I've not even started generating revenue or what, but they started government policies definitely affect you. You know, they almost discouraged me from the business. I was like, I used a lot of money, millions of naira to set up an office. I've not even started, you know, break even. You started saying I should be bringing money because number one, you don't even look at me. I'm a young man starting this kind of business. You know, you're a big man. I think you're opening big, you know, but you are the one that know where you got your money from. You are the one that you know the whole thing. I can decide to use the money to buy a car, and people will say, "Oh, this man is a good man." I can decide using the money probably just to do for one. You know, I have people that I can work. Entrepreneurship is just a passion. I have companies that can work that I will earn good money. I just decided that this entrepreneurship. If I'm not creating jobs, if I'm not saying if I know how to do things, and I know space, and I started struggling with the space of someone that I can, you know, create space for people to work under us. Then also live where we'll be working, let others fill that gap where I will be creating another space. No, I believe in life of impact, and that's where we have been going. So I believe with few, well, we have more stories, but at least I was able to talk. You know.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, it's so important that we hear from people like you in when we are stewarding conversations around starting businesses, because there will be so many narratives, and I think this your narrative will a lot of people can actually see themselves, you know, in it. They can see themselves. Probably they did engineering, probably they did the same course, or they went to the same school, or they have the same background, or they did NYC, or you know, running a business, or no friends that run businesses and all of that. And I think you've really said a lot, very, very pungent things that we need to learn. And, you know, we are so grateful to have you here today. Thank you so much for speaking. I've written so much, you know, I liked the way you talked to us about your about funding. That was so important, because, and also, you know, telling us about, I like the last 5 things you said: identify need, who are your customers, what is your unique selling point. You know, you talked about identify the resources that we need. Some of us just say, I want to do business, I'm looking for who will give me money, but we don't have a breakdown. There is nothing that we have to show anybody. And I think Mr. Ayo has been able to help us to understand that. You know, look at when that director in NYC said, go and make something. He made it for 15,000 naira and he paid him 40,000 naira, and he was able to start something from there. So I think these are very, very, very valuable lessons that we can take away from here. Look at when Tony Elumelu Foundation, you know, it's very competitive. And I want us to take something away from that. People in agriculture were getting about 40% funding, and engineering were just getting 2.13%. And this is what we are talking about. This is one of the reasons why we are here today. We don't have enough engineers, you know, doing engineering business. And it's so important that we start doing it, because engineering businesses has the capacity, manufacturing businesses has the capacity to employ more people, 1. 2, we have people that their knowledge, just imagine the intelligent people are not creating businesses. Then what happens if the most intelligent of us are just keeping quiet and allowing the society to slide? So, you know, he said a lot today, and I know that, you know, we've picked 1 or 2 things from there. He's talked about, you know, sustainable development goals. If you want international funding, this is the time of Africa. I don't know if you've heard that from so many places, but yes, you're hearing it from me again. This is the time for Africa. There's a lot of funding out there, but you just need to know how to align yourself. So I believe that, you know, with everything that he has told us today, you can go back, each one of us can go back and, you know, pick lessons from there, you know, structure the business, structure the plan. I have a plan. You know, also he has told us about his own personal story, his own motivations, his perseverance and everything. So we just want to say thank you, Mr. Ayo. And I'll just quickly leave the floor for question. If you have a question for him, you can just type it in the chat, or if you want me to unmute you, you want to ask your question, I can unmute you. So just let us know in the chat if you have any question. Also, if there's anything that really spoke to you. There's so many things. I have notes. My notes here is really filled up with a lot of points already for me to learn from. So, because I believe that even if you are not at that stage yet, okay, there is Daniel. Daniel raised his hand, so I'll just unmute Daniel. Daniel wants to ask a question. So Daniel, I've asked you to unmute. You can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, Daniel.
Yeah. I'm currently a graduate, a diploma graduate of aerospace engineering, and recently via LinkedIn. So I had the passion. I've been having the passion to create something for a while as an engineering student. Not right now I'm in the field of aviation, mechanical engineering, and I'm expanding my knowledge daily. So recently I had a feeling to create something. I've been having the feeling since years back, but recently I tried connecting through people through LinkedIn because I have certain contact through LinkedIn. So I tried connecting people through LinkedIn, and I shared some of the goals I wanted to do and some of the vision I had. And to my surprise, most of them accepted and they connected with me. So right now I collected their numbers, we talked a little bit. I was trying to build a network because I didn't really have much network around me. So that was one of the methods I used to build a network, try using LinkedIn. So try using them. So I somehow created a group on WhatsApp through the people who connected with me through LinkedIn. So we discussed on WhatsApp, created a group, discussed about it. So the main thing was I knew I wanted to start something. I knew I want to start something in manufacturing business. So start knowing exactly what problems we want to solve was the main key, because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to make, but I knew it was in the manufacturing sector. So me bringing those guys together, we were discussing, but we've not really talked much because this was about 2 weeks ago. So one of them recommended me to this meeting. And I was really glad that I was able to listen and be able to gain more experience from what people were saying. So I want to ask if there's any advice anyone can give me on how to go about it, what I and the team were trying to do to move on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Just let Mr. Ayo answer. Just look for him. Mr. Ayo, you can unmute.
Okay. All right. So, knowing what to make, well, number one is, as a mechanical engineer, you have to look into your different options that you have. Number one, we have automation. Then we have robotics. We have automobile, and different aspects that you think you fit. I can say number one that the future is automation. People are going more into automation now, and some of the mechanical things, some of even the home automation. So we see different aspects. So you have to start probably look at your passion. What are the things you have passion for? What are the things you have passion for? You can't just say you don't know what to make, you want to make mechanical things. Look at what you have passion for. Is what you have passion for that you look at the problems around you. Look at the things, look at the problem around you. So look at what is already the problem that is existing, the solution in existence to solve that problem. So what are the new things you are bringing in? Like a common saying in engineering that you cannot reinvent the wheel. You don't reinvent the wheel. Do you get it now? So what you say you want to do, someone has been working on it. That's why in a research work, you don't have any reference. So you have not done any research work. So which means that you have to look into what others have been doing before. Keep doing your research. Keep looking at the problem. It's when you look at the problem you want to solve. When you look at the problem, is that one the solution will come? Like me now, people have been coming, doing my project in my project in my end was solar inverter. We made the inverter by ourselves. We just connect the solar on the battery. So we did not even know how to know that we need to even use start controller. So later I now understand that, oh wow, I need to use start controller with this. So I started looking at, okay, this is my inverter is, it's not really well automated. So during my BNG project, I was able to do, okay, well, let me do, I look at farm, this fan control. I look at that, let's assume like a patient wants to turn on fan, and you have to stand up and maybe call not to turn on the fan. Why can't you have a remote control this thing? And I decided to design a remote control fan regulator, very that you can control. You can use any remote control, not dedicated remote control. Any remote control for a patient can use it. The old people can use it. The weak, those they can use it to turn on their fan as so. These are the challenges, these are the problems. You can call it, you can see series of problems you can solve. These are innovations that you can solve. And I can see that I designed that thing. So you need to your passion. Look into your environment. Look at your environment. So when you know what you want to build. So don't go and build what people will not need. So if you are saying you want to create a solution, you are building what people will not need. So it's not every product that people need. You have to build your product based on the needs of people in your environment. Do you get it now? So these are the things that you have to understand. Look at the solution, then from there create your solution from the based on the needs of people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo. I'll just only the only thing I'll just do to that is I'll just add to that I think he has already said it. You need to create a problem statement. And how do you do that? Observing. Keep observing. Keep observing. One day it will just hit you like a light bulb. Another way to do it is to keep researching. There is a guy here. Called Dyson, and I'd like you to go and read more about him online. Dyson, and he's a great innovator in the United Kingdom. He's innovated so many things, and it's just from, he was using something, he's using a wheelbarrow, he found out why is it stuck in the mud, he made something out of it. Oh, I don't like the way it was, because then people will have a problem pushing it in the mud. Then he had this Hoover for vacuuming the floor, and he felt that the suction power was weak. Then he created something. Before you know what's happening, through that suction power idea that he had created, now he creates hand fan, home heating systems, hair dryer, hair stretcher. You can just imagine so many things has been created. So I think also observe around you, observe problems. Since you have that, I think the first thing is having a mindset, which is good. Observe, then also research. Make sure you're reading more. The more you read, you will keep finding stuff. One of the things I did in my undergraduate was working on something they call, I'm a materials engineer, so there's something they call metal matrix composite. You get, and I worked on it then to be used in airplanes and all of that. And of recent, I saw something about stents, whereby biodegradable, whereby they can replace a part of your brain with a part of a particular biocompatible metal that will not degrade, and then it can, for people that have injuries, plastic surgery, people that have had a part of their brain damage and all of that. And before you know what's happening, we already have people in Nigeria now. I spoke to my former supervisor, and he's working on that. You get, so depending on what you are, just thinking about it, observing, researching, and the more you read about it, the more you say, oh, I can connect my idea to that idea, and then before you know, an idea is born. You can also go on to look into core manufacturers, people like LG, Philips, Samsung. Just go on their website, look at what they are doing. Sometimes you just get ideas from there on how to innovate your own product. And I hope that has helped in some way. I just have enough time to take one more question, if we have any, and then I'll move on to the next speaker. Do we have any more question? Anyone has any question for our speaker? All right. All right, while we're waiting for that question. Oh, sorry. Okay, Daniel raised his hand again. All right, Daniel, unmute.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. Yeah. I really appreciate the advice you gave. And like you said, doing research is one of the main things. So like you said, we already did that. We're in the process of doing the research already. So we came about looking at the drone industry, the aviation industry. And we saw the demand for drones is increasing every day right now at the moment, especially As we know, the
Okay.
world of technology is evolving every day. So I and the team try to, since our main goal is manufacturing, why can't we make drones out of composite materials? That was one of the things we do that.
Okay.
So having those ideas, what advice can you give to people who want to start a manufacturing company at its infancy stage, that they just have the idea right now and they have the skills to do it? So how can they go about it? Maybe in terms of funding, in terms of getting people to believe in what they're doing and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. I think what I would say, okay, what I would say is that I think you will have to send me an email, Daniel, anyway, for us to conclude, because I think there's a lot to speak about. But what I would just say in general is that, from Mr. Ayo's story, you can start very small, and, you can start from where you are. Just start. If you have 500 Naira, buy something, start creating, so start making something. You get, because sometimes people just want to see what you are making, then you start getting referral. Or can you help me make drone? I want to make drone as a project. You help the person, take them to make some money to make more drones. Do you see? So these are ways in which you can start. Then when you start, he got some funding, and that really helps him out. So but he was already doing something that by the time he had to apply for that funding, he could say, look, this is what I've done. Do you see? So I think you need to just start anyways. Just, look for resources, whether little, it's good to have a grand plan, after grand plan, but have we call it a macro and a micro. Have a macro and have a micro. Have a micro plan right now, but have a bigger picture of where you're going to. I think that will help. But you can send me an email. I'll put my email and let us discuss more. I'll put my email in the chat box. While we do that, can we just say thank you to Mr. Ayo? Thank you so much. Can you type thank you to him in the chat section? He's taking his time from his business to come and speak to us this evening. We just want to say thank you so much. I think I personally learned a lot, and I know that everyone here also learned a lot from your session. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. We hope his website is, I think it's www.cnot.ng. You can visit that website and see what they're doing there. If you have any solar needs or anything like that, these guys are good. I can recommend them. So yes, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo. We really appreciate it. I'll quickly go on to the next speaker. All right. Thank you. People are saying thank you in the chat section. Yeah, thank you so much.